Okay, fantastic. Once again, welcome everybody. Welcome to today's session. We will be focusing on, the session is going to be it's called Getting Started, and we'll be focusing on the fundamentals of velocity, how you're going to be navigating your way, moving from the home page all the way through to actually doing your first submission. So what I'm going to do right now off the back, guys, is I will go ahead and I will share my screen with you. I think the best way to do this would be to share my screen with you. That way you can just go ahead and follow along with what it is that I am doing. And that's going to be the absolute best way to do this. So let me just go ahead and share my screen with you guys. And everybody should be able to see my shared screen right now. What you should see in front of you is the Velocity homepage. All right. If you guys can't see that, please unmute yourself and let me know. Otherwise, I'll just assume everybody is able to see the Velocity homepage right now. All right. Well, we've got some background noise there. Let me just get everybody muted. Okay, I think we're good. All right, perfect. Okay, guys, so first things first, just off the back, my name's Ryan. I'm one of the trainers here at Newton Connectivity. And just to let you guys know as well, just a little tip, utilizing velocity within Chrome is going to work best. That's going to be your optimal search station to use to go ahead and work through velocity. All right. And then the second thing that I want to make mention of before I get started as well is, guys, there's no save buttons. Every keystroke is an automatic save within Velocity, and I'll demonstrate that more as we go along as well. Right, so first things first, what you see over here in front of you, like I said before, it's the Velocity home screen. And the very first thing that I really want to focus on right now or draw your attention to is going to be these four little blocks over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4 windows, whichever way you want to look at it. And the very first one I'm going to focus on is this top left one over here, where you'll see today's date. Right now, obviously, this section over here where you see today's date, this is going to be an overview of your calendar. Any task that you have set up for yourself previously will be displayed underneath your date here that within this very first window. Now, just to let you know, this is a bird's eye view of your calendar. You'll see right underneath that as well, it says no CRM calendar items for today. I'm not going to speak on CRM at all today, so I'll completely ignore this little session over here. That is a session that we do on its own. So we'll just focus on our daily tasks that we have set up for ourselves. Like I said, this is a bird's eye view of it. And if you want to view your calendar, guys, in a more holistic or full view, all we need to do to access that is click on View Full Calendar right here at the bottom. Or alternatively, within the black bar on the side, on the left over here, if you scroll down, you'll see a section called Calendar there. I can click on either or, it will take me to exactly the same place. So I'll go ahead and click on that over there. Right, and what you see now in front of you is a holistic view of your calendar for the month. Right, now I can toggle between a monthly view of this calendar, a weekly view, or a daily view of my calendar. Now, how would I go about adding any tasks to this calendar? Very simple, guys. This little left square or window on the top left over here is where you're going to go ahead and what you're going to go ahead and utilize to add your task. You'll see that it's different. It's color coded differently based on the type of task that you're adding, from phone call, email, follow-up, appointment to personal. And just to let you guys know as well, you do have an option of uploading or inserting a personal task to your calendar. We want you to use this calendar for everything from work to personal as well. So if I want to add any tasks to the day, all I need to do is click on the specific task I want to add, drop and drag it to my calendar. So let's say I want to add an email. I'll go ahead, click on email, drag it over, and I'll go ahead and drop it in the time slot that I want to do it or have it. And now what I'm going to do is just specify there. So maybe I want it to be for an hour only. So I'll say to 4 p.m. And then I'll go ahead and say email, maybe John whatever the case may be, and the description of that email. Once that is completed, all I need to do is click on close. And what that then does, it populates my calendar. All right. So it's a matter of clicking, dragging, and dropping in order to upload those tasks for yourself. Also, guys, just to let you know as well, you can go ahead and sync this calendar to your Google account calendar as well. So sync your Velocity calendar to your Google calendar by clicking on this connect tab or button right here. All right, I do suggest that you go ahead and do that. Just makes life a little bit easier with regard to having calendars that speak to one another so that we don't have any clashes moving forward, right? All right, now that's the calendar. So I'm going to go back to my home page by either clicking on home in the black bar here or clicking on the Velocity logo right here on the top left. Either or will take me back to my home page that you see here. And now moving over from managing my personal time, I want to move over to the far right over here, or the top right, where it's all about managing my business under Deals Overview. Now, within the Deals Overview section, guys, you'll see that this is once again a bird's eye view of my deals as well. I've got everything from leads to pre-approvals to pipeline to WTC over there, which is waiting to close. And then the final status over there in the overview is funded. Now, guys, what I want to just specify right now or put some emphasis on is the fact that what a lead is within Velocity. This is very important, guys. It's important to know because it's a language thing and it's an issue that comes up and will probably come up later if you don't take note of this right now. So what we consider a lead to be in Velocity is somebody that you have connected with before, someone that you have connected with before, but someone that has not started an application, a mortgage application, or completed a mortgage application, right? So maybe you met somebody over this past weekend and they're a potential client of yours. You got their information and their details and some details regarding who they are and what it is that they want. You're going to go ahead and enter that person in as a lead within Velocity. It's somebody that is on your marketing radar. And how would we do that? We're going to go ahead in the black bar over here under, well, this is under my name, but it will be your name stipulated over there. Go ahead and click on add, and you'll see the fourth option over there is lead. And if I click on that, it will open up this window to add a lead. All right. I'll go ahead and add the lead's name, last name, telephone number, any information that I got related to my lead, as well as any notes that I may have taken or notes that I may have with regard to the conversation that we had. And also, guys, just to let you know, there will be a follow-up reminder date for the lead as well. So you want to go ahead and add that follow-up reminder date. Now, just to let you guys know, as far as the difference between adding a lead and adding a contact is concerned, you'll see that when I close this and I open add contact over here, looks very similar. The only difference would be that a lead has got a follow-up date and a contact will not. Okay. So contact doesn't have a follow-up date, but your lead definitely will have a follow-up date because you'd want to reach out to that particular lead possibly in the near future. Okay. Now, guys, just to let you guys know once again, like I said before, this is a overview of your deals right over here. And in order to view this holistically, now all you need to do is go to this little tab at the bottom over here, go to Deals Dashboard, or alternatively, once again, within the black bar on the left-hand side, you'll scroll down and you'll see an option for Dashboard there. And I can click on either or. And what that then does, it takes me to my Deals Dashboard where I'll see everything from leads all the way through to my final status, which is funded and awaiting payment. Now, guys, you'll see that I have a list of my deals over here within each and every one of these statuses. And if I want to go ahead and actually view this in a bit more detail, all I need to do is at the bottom over here, click on View All within whichever status I want to view, and it will then draw up all my clients within that particular status that I have gone ahead and selected, and give me some information related to each and every one of them. Now, if I want to change the status that I have displayed here, all I need to do, instead of going back and clicking back, all you need to do is within the status bar over here, go ahead and close the current status that you are currently viewing. And then you'll see that it now has an open space here where I can go ahead and click to add a status. I'll go ahead and click on there. And now you're just going to go ahead and select whichever status you want to view. So let's say I want to go ahead, instead of viewing my pre-approvals, now I want to go ahead and view my approved deals. Go ahead and click on approved, and it will draw or pull all my approved deals within this view right here. Right now, what you may have noticed, guys, is that you did not see within the deals dashboard, you did not see a complete status, and we've done that intentionally. We do not want your deals dashboard to be cluttered, so we don't have one with all your completed deals within there. However, you can view them by closing the status you're on currently, clicking on the blank space again, scrolling down, and you'll see now there is an option to view all your completed deals here as well. All right, pretty simple. Let's go back to that home page. Now, moving away from those two top squares over there, I want to scroll down and focus on this bottom left one over here, which is your message center. Now, your message center basically has two components. One being anything any updates basically that Velocity has made within the system, you will be able to view within the section underneath your message center over here. So any updates that we have made will be displayed here with the exact update that took place, as well as the date that update took place too. Now, that's on the one hand. On the other hand, we can utilize Message Center the same way we utilize a platform such as, if you guys are familiar with it, Microsoft Teams. We can go ahead and utilize Message Center to communicate with people within our organization. So how would we do that? We go ahead and we'll click on the little green tab over there, which you'll see say send message. And when I click on that, it opens up this little window. And now I can go ahead and select who I want to send this message to, whether it be the entire organization, an office, sub-office team, or a specific user. I'll go ahead and select that. Insert my subject as well as my level of importance over there. And then I'll go ahead and type the body of the message that I want to send out and click on send. And that will then send that message over to that individual that I have selected. All right. Last window or square over here on the bottom right is your CRM overview. Now, guys, this does not relate to any campaigns or templates that you're going to be sending out as far as CRM is concerned. This more looks as the opportunities coming up within the next 30 days as it applies to your pre-approvals, your birthdays, anniversaries, and maturities. Now, guys, this is just a training account that I'm using right now. Yours will look a lot different to this in the sense that you will see a little pie chart over here, and it will be that pie chart will have everything associated to it as far as pre-approvals, birthdays, anniversaries, and maturities are concerned. All right. Now that we've discussed those 4 windows or 4 squares, I want to move over just to the top over here where you'll see this little search bar here. And guys, what you can do here is any deal or any client that I am looking for, I can go ahead and type that individual's name, last name, or deal number within the search bar right here. So let's say if hypothetically speaking, I'm looking for someone by the name of John. You'll see that it now starts filtering and starts pulling out all the Johns that I have on my system. And you'll see it's color coded differently. Deals are blue, contacts are green, and leads are red or orange. And these are just the way I inserted it into the system. That's what I put these names in the system as. Okay. Obviously, the more I type, the more it will filter. Now, let's say you do not remember the client's name for some reason, hypothetically speaking, you do not remember the deal number either. You can also utilize an advanced search to search for anything related to that particular deal that you have entered. So let's say, maybe for instance, I just remember that I entered this deal into the system or this lead into the system last week, Thursday. So I know the date that I entered it. I can now go ahead and use the advanced search to search by date, and it will pull up all the deals or all the contacts or leads that I have entered into Velocity last week, Thursday. So that's how you're going to go ahead and utilize advanced search as an example. All right. Right next to advanced search, you will see this little icon over here, which is your help icon. And if I click on that, guys, you'll see it actually opens up this little window, which has our customer support telephone number and our customer support email address right there. Now, guys, just to let you know, if it's anything training related, if you have any questions regarding this session, for instance, or any future sessions that you may attend, anything training related, please reach out to myself or the training team. I have dropped my email address in the chat box, so you can find my email address there. Just go ahead and pop me a message if you have any questions related to uncertainty surrounding Velocity. Other than that, if it's anything that needs to be changed on the back end, anything data related, guys, these are the guys you're going to go ahead and reach out to. You're going to go ahead and reach out to customer care, and they'll be able to take care of you with anything data related. All right, moving on from that little tab there, you'll see this little check mark right next to that help icon. And if I click on that, you'll see that this now opens up a little task window, which now relates to that of my first square that I described or that I explained earlier, which was my calendar. So anything, guys, that I have inserted within my calendar will also appear within my tasks over here under this little check mark. I always say this is kind of your accountability, a measure of accountability for you to make sure that any any task that you have entered in within your calendar, you actually went and took care of. And how the system holds you accountable to do that is that you actually physically have to come in here and tick it off to say that you have done and completed those. All right. Just to let you know, it will all be displayed within your daily tasks over there. And if you do not tick it off, it will all move over to the overdue column right here, which is red. Okay. So you have to physically come over here and actually tick them off to say that you have gone ahead and completed them. So I'll just go ahead and demonstrate that over there, just clicking within the circles, and that way you'll clear that up. So I do suggest maybe coming in here when you log on in the morning, come tick off those that you haven't done before, or when you log off in the evening, go ahead and tick off all the tasks that you have completed for the day, just to make sure that you don't create any clutter for you with regard to this. All right. Now moving on from the little check mark, there's a little ribbon right next to that over there. And this ribbon, basically anybody that has entered or completed an online application through Velocity will be indicated within this ribbon or underneath this ribbon over here. So since the last time you logged on to Velocity, if anybody has done an online application or clicked on your link, it will be displayed right here. All right. Now let's move on. And I just lastly want to, off the homepage over here, I want to just explain to you how we can utilize this little black bar on the left over here. Now I've gone ahead and showed you a couple of the shortcuts that you can use, but let me go ahead and explain the rest that I have not covered up until now. All right. Now, the very first one you see there is going to be add, like I said before, and obviously under add, you'll have adding a lead, adding a contact, but you also have two other options over there, which is adding a client experience or doing a manual application. Now, guys, just to let you know, what a client experience is, and I'll explain this in a little bit more detail in just a moment, just to give you a little overview. Basically, a client experience is when you are providing someone the details via email or text to a link that they can click on to complete an online application. All right. The client will then give you all the information required via this particular link that you send out to them. Now, versus that of adding an application is when you physically have this client in front of you, or at least on the phone, and you are the one doing or completing the forms on their behalf, asking them the questions and completing the forms on their behalf. That is what adding an application is. All right, but I'll get back to that in just a moment. I'll run you through exactly how we do that. Then underneath add, you'll have home. And obviously I showed you that before, it takes you to your home page. Then we have our dashboard over there. And that I've showed you before as well, takes you to your dashboard with all your statuses. And then underneath dashboard, you have contacts. And there we can go ahead and view list a list of our contacts and also merge our contacts if we wish to need to do that. And right underneath contacts, we have this section called My Day. And My Day is actually an extension of your calendar that allows you to build workflows. Now, guys, workflows forms part of our CRM training. That is a completely different session that you guys can also go ahead and sign up for as well if you wish to utilize this in future. But just to let you know, what a workflow is, basically what it is it's an email or text message which you have previously set up for yourself that goes out to your client. Now, basically, this function will remind you to send out that particular email or text, and this will be set up on a specific trigger. Now, just to give you an example, to simplify that a little bit, you may say that 20 days after the closing date of a deal, you want to pop a text message to connect with that particular client and ask if everything is okay. Now, how are you going to remember to do this with every single deal that you have closed? And the solution to that is build a workflow that is basically set up on a trigger that is set to remind you 20 days after closure of any deal that you need to go ahead and pop them a message to connect with them. All right. And like I said, later sessions will explain this in greater depth so that we can have a clearer understanding exactly of how workflows work. All right. Now, moving on from workflows, you'll see over there is below My Day, or at least from My Day, below My Day, you'll see Velocity CRM. And once again, guys, Velocity CRM is also a section, like I said, that we focus on its own, and guys can go ahead and sign up for those sessions as well. But this is where you'd be able to set up campaigns, setting up campaigns for yourself to fire out and send out to your clientele. And right below Velocity CRM, you'll see a section called Reports. And you'll see you can go ahead and draw reports for everything from production, pipeline, or even credit bureau. I just want to show you guys one option over here, which is your one-touch reports. If I click on one touch, what that then opens up is you have the ability to now go ahead and draw reports for birthdays, anniversaries, maturities, straight expiry deals, as well as contacts and leads. And if you go ahead and put in your starting date, it will give you 30 days from the starting date in the future. And you can go ahead and click on View Report, which will then extract the data as a CSV file. And that creates an Excel spreadsheet for you that you can go ahead and utilize as you wish. All right, back to my homepage over there. And the next part after reports is my calendar. And I've already shown you that takes you directly to your full view of your calendar. Underneath calendar, you have whatever deal it is that you're working on. And then you've got a section called previous deals that will just display your last 5 deals that you have gone ahead and worked on. And underneath previous deals, you'll see a section called discovery. Now, guys, what discovery is basically the system's way of giving you an idea of what the best lender and product is for the specific client that you are using. Okay, hence you can use this tool as a way to find the best product for that particular client. You can kind of think of it as the Tinder of the mortgage industry. All right. Below discovery, you have tools, and then you've got importer under tools. And that is pretty much where if you have any data that you are moving over from other systems like FileLogix, maybe you're coming over from FileLogix and you want to move that data or those deals over to Velocity, you'll do that within importer. And guys, if this is the case and you need assistance with this, please let me know, reach out by email. I'm more than happy to help you do this as well. Then we've got historical deals, and that's where all that data will be displayed that you've actually moved over utilizing the importer tool. And underneath historical deals, you have park deals. And guys, park deals is exactly what it says. These are deals you want to park for now and get back to at a later stage. Okay, now what I want to do, guys, is I want to move over and let's chat a little bit about our settings. So I'm going to go from, if you guys can see my pointer, from the velocity logo all the way to the far top right over there. I'm going to click on me and I'm going to select that very first option, which is settings. Let's look into settings for a moment and what I would suggest you set up for yourself first. Okay. Now, the very first option you'll see over there is connecting your email to Velocity. Now, guys, I know that when you registered, you may have utilized, or you did utilize, an email address to register. That does not mean that your email address is connected to Velocity. What I mean by that is if you are sending any messages via Velocity to a client's email address, those emails will read as no reply@newton.ca. That's what it will read as, where it's coming from. Now, to avoid that from happening and to make sure that when your client opens up these emails that you are sending via Velocity, that it's going to be your email displayed there, you need to go ahead and connect your email over here. Very simple way to do this. Go ahead and just choose your mail service provider. So let's say you are working with Outlook. Go ahead and select that. Go ahead and click on connect. And you'll see now that you'll just need to go ahead and add your email address as well as your password. And when you've done that, go ahead and click on this little green tab over here, which is test connection. Once that the system verifies everything is correct, you can go ahead and send a test email to yourself to make sure that it's in order, and then save your settings by clicking on the Save Settings tab right here at the bottom. And as simple as that, guys, your email will be connected. The next, next to email over there, we have your Google Calendar. I explained this earlier as well. We want to go ahead and connect your Google Calendar to your Velocity calendar. All you need to do is click on connect over here. Right next to Google Calendar, we've got Twilio. Now, guys, Twilio is an add-on feature, okay? But if you choose to add on this feature, it allows you to send and receive text messages via Velocity. Now, you may be asking, what's the benefit of this? Well, first of all, you don't need to use your cell phone for texting your clients anymore. Also, keeping track and sorting the client names and messages will be a lot easier and a lot more effective because it will be done within that specific deal that you are busy with. I mean, just imagine you've got thousands of clients and you've got to search for a client whose name or last name starts with the letter M, and now you've got to go in and scroll through your phone of 300 clients with the letter M. It takes time. It's not as effective and efficient as it would be by just doing it within Velocity, within the deal that you are busy with. Okay. Everything else that you see on this page over here, guys, is to set up the look and feel of your Velocity app. Now, any questions related to this at a later stage, obviously, guys, go through this, set things up for yourself over here. If you have any questions related to this at a later stage, please feel free to email me and we'll be able to assist you with any hiccups that you may have. Okay, let's get back to our homepage over there. And what I want to do now is jump on to an actual deal. Now, where I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and click on me, and I'm going to go ahead and click on profile. I want to go ahead and jump into an actual deal over here, or at least the setup of a deal as it relates to your client experience. Okay. Now, as I said before, client experience over there is the first option underneath add, and I explained that before. And this is where you're going to go ahead and set up the look and feel of that particular link that you're going to be sending out for that online application for the client. All right. Now, under your user profile, first thing you'll see is client experience settings over there, and you've got a couple of columns over here. And let me just go ahead and explain each and every one of them in detail. The very first one is theme. Now, you do have an option of toggling between DLC specific or default, and you'll see when I toggle over, it just changes the color code and the scheme of the look and feel of that you are sending out, which is the link as well as the application portal. Now, some of you may have an option to utilize a brokerage specific theme. This might not be the case, or it may be the case, and that would just mean that you have 3 options to choose from. Right next to theme, you'll see logo, and now I can go ahead and upload my logo by clicking on this little blue upload tab over here. And when I click on that, when you upload your logo, just make sure, guys, that you are sticking to these dimensions right here at the bottom. Obviously, you want to make sure you stick to the dimensions so that your picture or logo that's uploaded is not distorted or pixelated in any way. Right next to logo, you'll have client portal, and you can toggle between English and French over there. And then your last column over there would be customizations. And you'll see that there are 3 little toggles underneath customization over there. The first one being smart rules. Now, guys, I'm going to hold off on smart rules for just a moment. I'll explain it in just a second. It will be better understood once I actually explain templates right here at the bottom. Okay. Underneath smart rules, you'll see there's a toggle for easy account access as well as referrals. Now, guys, where this relates is when you are sending out this particular link to the application. If I toggle easy account access off, basically that will not allow the client to see any questions related to easy account access. Now, what easy account access is the ability of the client to link their bank account to Velocity off the back. Right? A lot of brokers choose to not have that question within that initial application that they are sending out. They feel like it's a little bit more personal and they'd rather reach out and ask those things afterwards. Well, you do have an option of toggling it off. If you don't mind to ask that off the back, just keep it on. Same thing with referrals. If you do not want to ask or bug your client with any referral questions off the back, just toggle that off. If you don't mind to have that question there within the application, just keep it on. All right. As simple as that. And then we've got a link or a URL right below here. And guys, that is your specific URL or link as it relates to taking it to your application, online application. So what I do suggest is go ahead and copy this, paste it onto your web page. That way, anybody that lands onto your web page now has the ability to go ahead and click on this URL or this link and complete an online application. All right. So I would suggest go ahead and copy that, put it onto your web page. Okay. Now, moving on from our settings portion, let's go and scroll down to our client experience templates over here. Now, guys, what you will see when you open this up, you will see that there are no templates displayed for you as yet, but not to worry. What we've done on our end at Velocity, we've taken the liberty and created 3 templates that you can go ahead and utilize for your business. Now, how you would go ahead and access those templates, guys, very simply under Experience Templates over here, go ahead and click on this little blue tab, which is Add a Template. And when I click on that, it will open up this little window that you see in front of you right here. And you'll see that it will give you a list of the 3 templates that I just referred to now, which is purchasing a new property, refinancing existing property, as well as renewing an existing mortgage right there. So what I'll do now is I'll just select the very first one just to show you exactly what that looks like when I open it up. When I select it, all I need to do is click on the little blue tab again, which is Use Template. And when I do that, it now opens up the particular template that I just selected, and you will see it will be displayed underneath my experience templates over there. And guys, just to let you know and show you that you'll see that this email subject line as well as body now speaks to that of purchasing of a new home. Right, you can toggle between English and French over there. That's an option. And also, guys, in your own time, what I would do is I'd go ahead and read through this template that we've set up for you. Make sure that the wording, the verbiage speaks to what you want to send out to your clients. Make sure that it's what we have set up for you here is you are basically happy with that, with the verbiage that we've utilized, and you can go ahead and utilize that for your business. I just want to go ahead and add another one for you. Just want to show you guys. So simple, just click on Add a Template. I'll select the second one now, refinancing existing property, and use that. And you'll see it loads that particular template underneath my experience templates over there. And now, instead of speaking to that of purchasing of a new property, this template now or email now speaks to that of refinancing your property, the subject line and the body of the email. And I'll just go ahead and add the last one over there just for the sake of this training session, just to show you guys to load all of them up there as well. Now, guys, Some of you may be thinking, what if I'm not happy with this verbiage that has been utilized within the sample templates? You can absolutely go ahead and edit this up as you wish. So let's say, if just hypothetically speaking, maybe you've read through this and you like what is spoken about here within this template with regard to purchasing of a new property. You like the verbiage, but there's a couple of things that you want to change up. All you need to do, guys, is let's say I want to utilize this verbiage over here, but I want to make it specifically for first-time home buyers. I can go ahead now and change the name on top of there. First-time home buyer. So I'm making a template for first-time home buyers, and you'll see now, guys, like I said before, every keystroke is a save. You'll see that once I was done typing, it automatically saved it right there underneath experience templates as first-time home buyers. And then I can go ahead and I can change up the subject line and change up the body of the email appropriately so that it suits that of first-time home buyers. Okay. Also, just to let you guys know, I may have edited that particular email or that particular template, but not to worry, the original one will still be there. If I go ahead and add a template, you'll see that I can just go ahead and use that original one once again. All right. Now that this is the basic idea of creating templates. Now that we've created these templates, guys, obviously we need a different set of documents and conditions to go along with each and every template. Okay, and to do that, we've created this section called documents, a section called documents and conditions, and you'll see this right next to your email or your experience template that you are on. And you'll see there's a section or window called conditions groups right underneath there where you will add your conditions groups. But in order to go ahead and edit that, all we need to do is scroll down to the section called conditions and documents right here below that. And if I open that up, you'll see it has 3 subsections over there, one being smart rules, conditions groups, and customized conditions. Smart rules I'm still going to hold off on for just a moment. And I'll go ahead and explain conditions groups to you guys quickly. If I click on conditions groups, you'll see that that opens up 3 sample template conditions groups that we have created at Velocity once again for you to utilize for your business. Purchasing document group, rental documents group, and existing property group. Now, guys, unlike our templates on top over here that we can edit, alter, and delete as we wish, these conditions groups that we have created on your behalf cannot be edited, they cannot be altered, and they cannot be deleted. And that's indicated by this little gray lock key right next to that over there. Okay, I can go ahead and click on the drop-down arrow to see exactly what it entails, but it cannot be changed. All right. Now, if you want to go ahead and create a condition group to match your templates that you have created on top over there, let's say we stick to the example that we made earlier, first-time home buyers. I want to go ahead and create a group to go along with first-time home buyers. All I need to do is click on add a condition group tab right here. What that then does is it opens up a little blank space at the bottom of the 3 that we've created for you. And I can go ahead and name that group first-time home buyers. So first-time home buyers group. And now once I've named it, once again, it saves automatically. I can go ahead and add my conditions. So let's say I want to request a pay stub. I'm going to go ahead and I want to ask for a T4, click in the blank space. I'm going to hit ask for NOA. Maybe I want to ask for a letter of employment as well, guys. And obviously the list goes on. I'm just going to stick to those 4 just for this training session. But I mean, you're going to go ahead and create that group accordingly, right? So that it can be added to your templates on top, to your first-time home buyer template on top. Now, once you've added all your conditions that you're going to request from your client, you can go ahead on the side here and request that from either your primary borrower only or from all borrowers within that application. You also have the option of deleting them on the side over here with the little red trash can if you no longer need them. You also have the option of deleting the entire group if you don't need it anymore. By clicking on the little red trash can icon there too. And right next to that trash can icon, if I scroll over it, you'll see it says duplicate condition group. I do have an option of duplicating this exact group over here that I've just made. And if I click on that, you'll see it just makes an identical copy of the group that I have created before. Now, the reason why we've given you that option is maybe you want to create another group, but there are just small differences between the conditions of them. So let's say I want to create a group for pre-approvals. And I know that for my pre-approvals group, maybe there's just one or two of the conditions that need to be changed. Now I don't need to go ahead and start that group from scratch. I can just make a copy of it and alter whatever it is that I need to alter. So maybe I don't want to request a T4 within this group, but I want to I'll take that one out and maybe just substitute it with a T1 general and so forth. I mean, I'm pretty sure you catch my drift with regard to that. Pretty much what the idea behind that is that it will save you time because you don't need to go ahead and start this group from scratch again. All right. And that's the idea of how to create your condition groups. Right below conditions groups, you have customized conditions. If I click on that drop-down arrow, you'll see it has two subsections, custom conditions and generic conditions. And if I click on, just to let you guys know, generic conditions are what we have created on your behalf at Velocity once again. So if I click open that up, you'll see they are subcategorized into different categories that various conditions are listed below. And custom conditions are conditions that are unique to you. So maybe you want to request a specific condition from a client or a specific document from a client, but you cannot find it under your generic conditions. You can go ahead and create it under your custom conditions by opening that up over there. And this is what yours will look like. So you go ahead and in order to create that condition or request, you can go ahead and click on add a custom condition. Opens up this little blank bar, and it's hypothetically speaking, I want to go ahead and I want to request a passport from my client and I don't find it within generic conditions. I can go ahead and create that request right here. You can type in passport, select the section it falls under, and then that will be automatically created and I'll be able to add that custom condition to my condition groups. Also, guys, just to let you know, you do have an option of deleting that again if you don't need to use it anymore. And you also have an option of adding a note to your conditions as well by clicking on the little blue square icon right here. If I click on that, it will open up this little window which says condition notes. And I can go ahead and add a message for my client as it relates to that condition group. Now, I'm pretty sure you know a lot of the times, or most of the time at least, we request these conditions or documents from clients and we never really get exactly what we're looking for. Now we can specify to them exactly what we want, add that condition there, and I can go ahead and say, let's say maybe I want to make sure that this passport is valid for 12 months at least. I can go ahead and say needs to be valid for 12 months, and then I'll go ahead and save the note by clicking on the little blue icon there, and that will then add the note to that condition, and that client, when opening this up, will see that note. Right now, also to let you guys know that when a note is added to a condition, it's indicated by a little green dot or circle in the top right corner over here. Right. So any condition that has this little green dot in that particular blue icon will have a note added to it. All right, let's close that up. And now let's go and scroll all the way to the top. Just to let you know, before I scroll to the top, you should now, what I do suggest is that you go ahead and bold these groups as I explained, and then also go ahead and add them to your templates. All right. Now, you can bold these groups as I just explained, or you can go ahead and there's also an option for utilizing smart rules, which is what I said I'll come back to right here under customizations, right on top over here before. Like I said, I'll come back to before. Over here, you'll see under customizations, you'll see smart rules, and you have an option to toggle smart rules on and off over there. Now, just to give you an idea of exactly what smart rules is, pretty much, guys, when you send out this application to your client and the client completes the application, What Smart Rules does is, based on the answers that the client gives within the application, Smart Rules basically knows exactly what conditions to request or what documents to request from that client based on the answers they give within that application. All right. So in other words, we've built a little algorithm on the back end that knows exactly what the client needs to submit to you once they've completed or based on the answers within the application that they are completing via the link that you have provided for them. Velocity does the work for you. So basically at this point, I'm pretty sure some of you at this point may be asking, why would I then need to do it myself if the system does it for me? And the simple answer to that, guys, is maybe you've actually spoken to this client before and you know exactly what the client needs to submit and what they need to exclude. You can go ahead and toggle Smart Rules off to make sure that the system doesn't ask for any unnecessary documents that's going to waste their time and essentially waste your time at the end of the day. You can go ahead and toggle Smart Rules off so that it does not request those documents other than the ones that you know that you personally need. Now I can toggle this off for the entire client experience, which means I'm toggling it off for every single template underneath here. Or I can come to the specific template right here and I can toggle it off. Let's say I go to first-time home buyers. I can come to the specific template and I can toggle that off for that template only, and it will still remain on for all the others. Okay. Very simple. All right, now let's look at how we're actually going to go ahead and build or add a client experience. Now that we've set everything up, the look and feel of it, as well as our templates and our conditions groups, let's go ahead and add a client experience. In order to do that, I'll go to add. Underneath add, I'll go to client experience, and I'll now go ahead, it pops open this window, and I'll go ahead and add the borrower over there. So let's do just a example over here. Let's say we want to send this out to him, John, and I'll use my email address there, guys. And once that is done, guys, very important step over here, you want to go ahead and click on add borrower. And that solidifies that individual as my primary borrower. Very important step, guys, as only the primary borrower will receive this initial application, okay? So whoever I'm adding there first is my primary borrower, and that's the person that's going to receive my application that I'm sending out. I can obviously go ahead and add additional borrowers right here afterwards as well, however many needs to be added to the application. Once I'm done with adding the borrowers, I'll go ahead and click on next, and I'll go ahead and actually select what I'm going to send out, which experience template I need to send out. So let's say Kim is wanting to purchase a new property. Go ahead and select that particular template. Make sure that everything is in order over there. And I'll go ahead and click on next to add my conditions and documents. And you'll see you have a final chance of toggling Smart Rules on and off over here. You'll see your condition group related will be added to that in this particular section over here as well. And I can also go ahead and add individual conditions by clicking on this bottom part over here, if there are any individual conditions that I want to add additionally to this too. And when I click on send, that will then be sent off to my client. Now, what I do recommend, guys, is go ahead and do a test of this, a test version of this. Put a dummy name in there, put your email address in there, send this off to yourself, go ahead to your email and see what that looks like from the client's perspective. Run through the application as well. Make sure that you are familiar with everything. That way, if any questions come your way from the client, you'll know exactly what it is that they are referring to. Okay, and that's your basic idea, guys, of doing an online application via your client experience. Now, the last thing I want to run through, and we've got just 5 more minutes, I want to do a manual application, and how we're going to go ahead and do that is under add. We'll go ahead and click on the second option over there, which is application. Once I've done that, I'll go ahead and add Kim's name there now. Kim John. And guys, just to let you know, you need to select the closing date over here. That's just how the system is set up. So it's got to be a date within the future. It's not set in stone. So you can go ahead. Already got a Kim John. You can go ahead and change that closing date afterwards as well. Okay, so there's Kim John already. So I'll need to just change that quickly. Kim Smith. Okay, choose the closing date, and then I'll add my mortgage amount over there. And I'll click on save. And once I click on save, guys, it will open up this particular window that you see in front of you right here. Now, if you are coming over from FileLogix, this will look very familiar to you. Basically, exactly what FileLogix looks like. The application process of FileLogix looks exactly like this. Now, I'm going to move away from this. I know some of you may find that this is a more familiar view, but I would suggest that you utilize our modern view over here. You'll see you can toggle between classic and modern, and I'm going to open the modern view. And the reason why I prefer to use this and why I suggest you use it as well is it's just better laid out. It's basically tabulated into the different categories as well. So very first thing you're going to go ahead and add over there is all your borrower's basic information. Go ahead and add that. I mean, this is just basic completion over here that you're going to go ahead and do. Once you've added all the information of the borrower, now you want to move over to adding all the information related to their financial situation by clicking on assets, liabilities, and properties. And I can go ahead now and add an asset or add all the assets that the client has by clicking on this little green tab over here. When I click on that, it opens up this window, and I can go ahead now and select whichever asset I want to add. So let's say I want to add a gift. Maybe the gift was valued at 100,000, and maybe the description is gift from parents. Seems to be a quite common thing these days for people buying homes. So click from parents, and I'll click close, and that will then populate under my assets section, and I can just go ahead and add as I wish or as I need to. And then the next section over there will be a credit bureau section, and I can draw a credit report by clicking on this little orange tab over there, and I'll go ahead and click how it was authorized, on the date it was authorized, the vendor that I'm going to utilize, Equifax or TransUnion, the language I wanted in, and click on request bureau, and that will draw my credit report, and it will be placed right underneath your credit bureau right here. And now I can go ahead and add my liabilities now as well, guys. If you have drawn a credit report at this point, you can just draw all the liabilities or all that information from the report and populate this automatically, right? You do have that option as well. And then once all that is added, guys, obviously right below it will give you it will push out your net worth of your client right there. Right, now that our assets, liabilities, and property section is completed, we'll go to the subject property details, the property of interest. I can go ahead and add that property in here. So let's say, okay, so I'll just go ahead and just add a random address over there. And now that I've added the property, you'll see it auto-populates. I can go ahead and validate that property. I'll just say, obviously, you, the agent, submit that. The system will do a confirmation and verify, validate that as well. Once that loads up, you'll now see that everything related to that property is listed right here below under property details. Now, I also want to just show you one more thing. I want to show you that you can actually do an up-to view over here as well. Let's just give it a moment or two. Generally doesn't take that long, but I do want to show you guys this part over here too, as most brokers find this really interesting and helpful as well. Oh, okay, there we go. So right, once that loads and validates, you'll see you now have an option to go ahead and view that up-to view right there. So that's a particular property that I just typed in over there, all the information related to it as well. Okay. But let's close that up and go back. Once all that is done, your subject property details are completed. Let's go to our final tab before we can actually go ahead and submit this. which is your mortgage request tab. And now the very first thing you want to do there, guys, under your mortgage request tab is you want to go ahead and add a down payment. And in order to do that, just go ahead and use this green tab once again, add down payment, select the source, let's say it's a gift, parents, and the amount over there. Boom, and you've added that. Now that that's done, you can go to the bottom of here. And if you don't want to utilize a down payment amount source over there, you can also go ahead and utilize percentage of the purchase price. And you'll do that by overriding the down payment source. And then I can just go ahead and say whatever percentage I want to utilize as my down payment. And once I've done that, it then does all the automatic calculations for me over there, as you can see. And let's just scroll down. You'll see the next section over there is going to be qualifying deals. And that's just your stress test over there as well, payment summary. And then your lenders portion over here, which is the last one I want to focus on. You want to go ahead and you can go ahead and utilize the little blue tab to view lenders and products. When you click that open, you can go ahead and search for lenders by utilizing this little search bar over here to search all lenders on the system. And you can go ahead and star all the lenders, or at least up to 6 lenders that you maybe like using or utilize the most. You can go ahead and star them accordingly. And once you have found the lender you want to utilize, go ahead and select that lender, select the product that you want to use. And obviously, once you're happy with the product that you've gone ahead and utilized, all you need to do is click on the little blue tab over there, submit to lender. And that's your first part of getting to your submission status. And that, guys, is how you go ahead and do a manual application. All right. So I'm going to call it right there, guys. I'm going to stop